everyone, many of you have seen the unusual patterns of my upload date, but this is a little weird. Why 2 days without any uploading? I always give almost every day one upload, so it's mostly like that, except for weekends like Friday and Saturday, because we have to enjoy the holiday. But you might be knowing that I have done a secret project, and yes, I am making a thing. That project's name is Operation YouTube Protocol. That's a pretty long name, but I just call it OYP. Yeah, OYP. The thing is that I have seen a video of my own at early 2019 or end of 2018. So I watched that. It was known as the computer is explained by a little scientist explaining computer, but now I have seen that it was not too much humorous or better quality either. So I decided to make different types of videos to make such videos. Again, another update. So this is my reaction. So it's basically just a reaction, but also it includes these type of charts or these types of figures to be made so that I can actually use them more. And my channel will grow. I know I have grown substantially from 35 subscribers to 50 subscribers to 65 subscribers. At August it was 50. At the beginning of 2019 it was actually 35, and now I have 65 subscribers. So I might be not able to tell you all of these things, but it's just a human body thing. So I am trying to make another video or other videos. I can't say it more about now, but later I will say. So if you want to support us for that protocol, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. It helps our channel a lot. So we can see what our chart looks like. Remember, this is not from an outside source. This is made 100% by me, except for the physics of the impossible. That's from a famous scientist book. You must type the chart, otherwise you'll go to all sorts of booky stuff. I just don't want to do that. Okay, so today is a really special day, because today this is 3 years special, because this is the September 1st where my first video came at 2017. So today is actually 3 years special. Okay, so that's we covered all of that channel stuff. Now let's go back to our chart. So this is made 100% by me. You can see this is actually doing. This was actually from a channel named Useful Charts, and I have actually bought a couple of printouts of that. So I actually make the charts idea got from that channel. So make sure to check it out sometime after this video. Okay, so you can see this Genesis is from you can see it's kind of like a life thing I made just in this life classification thing. Genesis is the beginning of time, meaning after the Big Bang, beginning of time has started. It was called Genesis. It will be really hard to understand the beginning, but at the end we will be getting like that. So you can see these are like the Eureka domain, bacteria domain and archaea domain. Substance, forces and energy are the thing. Since we are going to be knowing most of the substance, let's look a quick look at the forces area. So there are four forces. These are gravity, electromagnetic and weak and strong nuclear forces. But I count them as only 3 forces, because, well, that's not a big thing. But also the atomic bomb came in at that time. forces surely blew along with the genesis. I will explain the atomic bomb later though. So since we have taken a quick look at the forces, now let's look at the quick look at energy. Well, energy is nothing more than a lot faster matter which bombard with each other to create some sort of energy or some sort of thing like that, compounds, etc., to create energy, different types of energy. It occurred during the Big Bang when things were floating around everywhere and crashing together because they have been packed together on a really dense space, and then imagine it exploding. Then they will go out anywhere. Like an inflating balloon with trillions of sand, you can inflate it like this, and it will the sand will start to move everywhere because they have more space. So why not? I don't know what is the reason, but that's because of Einstein's three theories. Remember. No, Einstein's, not Einstein's, that's Newton's. These are so much funny. Okay, let's see. So, what is related to gravity? Of course, that's Isaac Newton because, well, that's it. So actually, the three laws of of gravity are, well, the first law states that when an object moves like this, nothing can stop it until it from any outside force. Like when you give a bowling ball on a long field, that just slows down, not because of Aristotle's word which state objects actually go tired, that's why they fall. That's nonsense to today's physics, but back then this was the only explanation to that. I understand the thing which people were surrounding before Isaac Newton. So when I hit this chair, for example, I'm a bowling ball, a giant bowling ball, like an egg, it hits that but doesn't, unless it breaks, it will just stop because it's from an outside force that it's doing it. Similarly, when I take this and push it like there, it is actually pushed by something, otherwise it would be in the same thing. You might be wondering why is this moving a lot slowly, still it's moving without any outside force. Well, that's because there's air all around us, we don't notice it, but when you go through a long runway like this or do like something like this, you can feel the air going from one area to another. When I can do this, I also feel that the air is going there. Air is matter and will be matter. So let's now see what are the energies after all that physical thing. Well, firstly we're gonna know the two main things which occurred: kinetic or kinetic if you are more English speaker, but I'll say kinetic anyways, and heat, which is the thing. So why heat came? It was even before the Big Bang, since they were really hot particles on a densely area. Kinetic energy occurred when the objects blast away on a long space, and hence kinetic energy was formed. So what are energy? Well, energy is a subdivision just like a substance. It just swaps into another form. It can be destroyed or be created. For example, when I'm doing this, something like this, I'm wasting energy, but not actually I'm wasting energy. I'm just transforming it into another form. This is chemical energy, which I turn into mechanical / kinetic energy. Oh, speaking of mechanical energy, let's just go to that. What is mechanical energy? Well, that's just kinetic energy, but more used in industrial things. So that's the same thing. Static energy, though, is something like this. You take a brick and put it over the stairs, and it slowly goes down. You are swapping it into another form. That's what energy is. But there is the kind of energy which when you swap it in another form, that is another energy. So let's just think. So there are two kinds of energy which are the main one that you need to learn on school. Not much of these, I am going to say that later. You are going to just know two of these mostly. Kinetic energy / kinetic, which was created by friction on the early stages. No matter for that. So kinetic energy, and there are potential energy. That means you are standing like this here, and but you can do something. For example, if I go here, when right in the moment when I was there, I had potential energy, so that I can do something, go down and pull into the ground. That's what occurs. Now let's go to the other forms of energy. You might not need it. Air and wind are the same thing, but they are just doing. So their air is kind of energy, but it's kind of a substance, so it's not counted as energy. But wind energy is a thing. When you move air, that forms wind, but that's energy, kind of energy, so that counts as energy in this. It also forms breeze and storm, which are kind of that, but I won't include it. From heat we get electricity. When it gets extremely warm over these light bulbs above me, you cannot see, these are produce light. That's why they are called resistors, because they kind of use static electric energy so that they can swap it into another form, kind of like resistors. They are actually a resistor but are useful for our daily lives. So we learned all of these. Electricity forms light bulbs. See this little picture here. I also took this idea from the useful charts. Remembered about that. Static electricity and current electricity are two types of things. Static electricity is kind of a different thing. So for example, when you have a famous experiment where you actually run something along here which is not a conductor. Conductors mean they can conduct electricity and go pass it into another form, and insulators cannot conduct it at all, and resistors block energy from going anywhere, electricity from going anywhere. Current electricity is what conductors conduct and make them current electricity, and static electricity is when charges built up at somewhere. And clouds, so you can see that when lightning occurs, ice and air rubs together to form friction. This causes extreme electrical charges to build up in that, causing static electricity until it transforms into a current electricity by lightning. So these are the things which I said about these. Oh, back to the atomic bomb. I forgot to tell you that atomic bomb is actually an energy source, because that actually when attacks, actually explodes, so that creates energy, and that's energy kind of. So let's just go out. So we go to all these areas and go to the substance area. This is what we are going to focus on, because you and me are made of this matter. We don't care about energy, although that's really important, but we are going to be looking at this. That's why I have given more of these in this area, because you want to know more about these. Okay, before you get, I have a warning for you. I have only given a black hole for a little information in here, so just for that. Substance has there were subatomic particles. I mean, when you might know that electrons and protons and neutrons are inside an atom, but they actually, when you smash them, you get more particles, and when you smash even them, you get more particles, and so on. In the Large Hadron Collider, they are trying to make an experimented effectal and thing called Higgs boson, something like that. So that they are trying to find out if that's actually real or something like a scientific legend that's not impossible compared to the future. So proton, neutron and electron. If you are seeing this at 2100, you are no, you are not. I am knowing because this video YouTube might not survive back then. So actually you might think some of these laws are funny because these are so small compared to you. You are probably not watching from 2100, aren't you? So electron, neutron, proton. Proton consists positive and neutron consists no charge, and electron consists negative charge. Until we go to matter. Actually, if we go 1 generation, we create atom. 1 generation means actually one thing passing. The matter is not pretty important to discuss. The sources of matter are important to discuss. Atom, here's a simple thing of an hydrogen atom. So this is simply an hydrogen atom where I have given a little yellow, you might not be able to see, and blue, which are proton and neutron, and here's a little electron which is circling around it. This is a hydrogen model. That's the first thing and the easiest. Hydrogen is formed here until we go to the periodic table. Okay, there are also planets created by matter, more on that later, and let's just go to the 3 states of matter. That's solid, liquid and gas. Also there's plasma, which is a something, and other matter things you might find on the internet, but they are officially not counted as matter, but still there are actually 5 states of matter. But let's just see. So water plus gas equals steam or water vapor. Water plus solid equals ice. So it just freezes or melts or condensates and go from one form to another form to another. So we have covered this area, but also plasma is an cosmic source. That's because it's from stars. So that's it. Gas also forms stars which later collapse into black holes by supernova, or if the star is really young, or no, actually really large and has a lot of mass, it will collapse into a neutron stars, which actually end by types of Hawking radiation, the same thing that evaporates black holes over time. So let's see, the periodic table, as we are at, also created life by new things. But you might have noticed one thing I'm gonna explain. There's chemical energy also from that, and hydrogen bomb, which is a source of energy. Let's just go out of all that. What is technology though is a big important in the scale of physics. Let's see how small is technology compared to that. So mechanical energy plus chemical energy, and which will turn into electricity, plus metals and a few shapers by metals and etc. until a complex device is created. That's how it's evolved into a scale of technology. I'm not saying all of you who are studying technology from that plane. In fact, I study technology. I'm just saying how small it is in the scale of the physics. How small in this physics chart is it. I didn't discuss all the subatomic particles because, well, there are a lot of them. There are leptons, etc. Let's just go on to the next one. So after the Big Bang,